Be me. 44, COO of enterprise software company in Boston. Total comp, $240,000 plus equity. Been climbing corporate ladder for 20 years. Company is called TechBridge Solutions. We sell B2B analytics software. 350 employees, $80 million annual revenue. Publicly traded on NASDAQ. Stock price has been steady at $22 per share for 2 years. I handle operations, sales, customer success, basically everything except engineering. CEO is Robert, 58, founder, technical guy, believes in data-driven decisions. He's old school, thinks numbers matter more than people, classic boomer mindset. I was hired 18 months ago to modernize operations and culture. My interview was all about diversity, inclusion, transforming workplace dynamics. Board wanted someone progressive, someone who could change the culture. Company has reputation for being male-dominated, especially in sales. Sales team is 40 people, 32 men, 8 women, typical enterprise software demographics. Top performers are mostly men. They've been here 5 to 10 years, know the clients. VP of sales is Mark, 51, been with company 12 years, old boys club personified. He manages the team with beer and golf outings. Mad men energy. Revenue keeps growing though. Can't argue with $80 million annual, but it's not enough. Board wants $120 million in 3 years, aggressive growth targets. And they want it done the right way with modern leadership. That's where I come in, the progressive COO who'll shake things up. First year I spend learning the business, making small changes. New parental leave policy, expanded benefits, inclusive language training. The usual stuff, nothing too disruptive, building credibility. Sales team tolerates it. Mark goes along, Robert doesn't interfere. But I'm watching, I'm documenting, I'm seeing the problems. Sales meetings are dominated by the top male reps. They talk over everyone. Client dinners are boys club bullshit, whiskey and cigars and golf talk. Women on the sales team get assigned smaller accounts, less commission opportunity. It's systemic, it's baked in, it's everything wrong with corporate America. One woman, Jessica, 32, top female performer, comes to me frustrated. I closed $2 million in deals last quarter, but I'm still not invited to the strategic accounts meetings. Mark says those are for senior reps only, but Jake got invited after 18 months. I've been here 3 years, and I'm out selling half the guys in that room. This is it. This is the evidence I need to make changes. Start building a case. Collect more stories from women on the sales team. They all have similar complaints, marginalized, talked over, excluded. One woman shows me Slack messages from male reps, casual sexism, jokes about clients. Nothing illegal, but definitely inappropriate, definitely exclusionary. 6 months ago, I pitched Robert on a new initiative. We have a voice equity problem in sales. It's hurting performance. What do you mean voice equity? He's already skeptical. Male voices dominate meetings. Women can't get a word in. This creates groupthink. We're missing perspectives, missing opportunities. Show him data I've collected. Women speak 35% less in meetings than men. Made up the methodology, but the numbers sound scientific. So what do you want to do about it? Robert asks. I want to implement structured meeting protocols, ensure equal voice distribution. He shrugs. Whatever, as long as sales numbers don't drop. That's all the permission I need. Time to restructure everything. Announce the new equitable voice framework in all-hands meeting. Sounds professional, sounds data-driven, sounds reasonable. The details are where it gets interesting, where the real change happens. Rule 1. In any meeting with mixed gender attendance, women speak first on every topic. Rule 2. Men must wait for all women present to contribute before speaking. Rule 3. If a man interrupts a woman, meeting pauses and he must apologize. Rule 4. Meeting facilitator, always a woman, tracks speaking time, ensures balance. Rule 5. Men are limited to 40% of total speaking time in any meeting. Sales team looks stunned. Mark is visibly angry, turning red. Robert is frowning, but doesn't say anything. He gave me operational authority. Jessica and the other women are nodding. Finally, someone's doing something. Implementation starts immediately. I'm not fucking around. First sales meeting under new rules. Monday morning, weekly pipeline review. I'm facilitating, have a timer app on my iPad, tracking everything. Mark usually runs these meetings, talks for 30 minutes straight about strategy. Today I cut him off after 2 minutes. Mark, let's hear from the women first. I was just getting to the dash, he starts. Women first? Mark, that's the protocol. Turn to Jessica. Jessica, what's your pipeline looking like? She's nervous, not used to speaking first. I have 3 deals in late stage. Great, tell us about them. Take your time. She talks for 5 minutes. Other women add their updates. 15 minutes in, haven't heard from any of the top male reps yet. One of them, Brad, 48, top performer, $8 million in annual bookings, raises his hand. Can I talk about the Johnson account? It's time sensitive. Not yet, Brad. We haven't heard from all the women. He looks frustrated, but stays quiet. That's the power dynamic shifting. By the time all women have spoken, meeting is 35 minutes in. Men get the remaining time. They're rushing through updates. Mark barely gets to cover strategic priorities. Meeting ends abruptly. He catches me afterward. That was a disaster. We didn't cover half the agenda. We covered different priorities, ensuring all voices are heard. Nobody cares who speaks first if we don't hit our numbers. The numbers will improve when we stop marginalizing talent. He walks away shaking his head. I feel victorious. Next meeting, client presentation, major deal worth $3 million. Our team is presenting to potential client, big financial services company. Team is 3 people. Brad, top rep, Jennifer, account exec, 2 years experience, and solutions engineer. In the pitch meeting, client asks technical questions about implementation. Brad starts to answer. He knows this stuff cold, done 50+ implementations. Hold on, Brad. I interrupt. We're on Zoom so everyone hears. Jennifer, can you take this question first? Jennifer looks panicked. I'm not sure about the technical details. That's okay. Share what you know. Brad can fill in gaps. She fumbles through an answer, clearly doesn't know the specifics. Client looks confused. Brad is visibly uncomfortable. He adds clarification after Jennifer finishes, but momentum is lost. We don't get the deal. Client goes with competitor. Brad sends me a message after, we lost that deal because Jennifer wasn't prepared to lead. Jennifer needs more opportunities to develop. That's how growth happens. That was a $3 million opportunity, not a training exercise. Every interaction is a learning opportunity, Brad. Block him on Slack. Don't need his negativity. Roll out the policy across all meetings, sales calls, client presentations, everything. Mandate that women must speak first. Men must yield floor. If a meeting has no women, it must be rescheduled to include at least 1 woman. Sales team is in chaos. Their processes are disrupted. Client calls that used to flow naturally are now stilted and awkward. Mark escalates to Robert. This is killing our sales process. The reps can't build rapport with clients. Everything feels scripted. Robert calls me in. What's going on with sales? Mark is worried. Mark is resistant to change. This is typical pushback. Are the numbers being affected? Too early to tell. We're only 6 weeks in. Robert accepts this. He's not a micromanager. Trust his executives. But I can see he's concerned. He's watching closely. Month 2, numbers start coming in. They're not good. Sales pipeline is down 15%. Deal closure rate is down 20%. Client satisfaction scores are dropping. Some clients asking for different reps. Mark shows Robert the data. This policy is destroying our sales motion. Clients don't care about our internal voice equity. They care about solutions. And our pitches have become train wrecks. Shows example. Major deal lost because junior woman rep couldn't answer technical questions. Client specifically said they went with competitor because your team seemed disorganized. Robert brings me in, shows me the numbers. This is concerning. It's a transition period. Performance always dips during change management. How long until improves? 6 months, maybe 9. We're restructuring decades of bad habits. Robert is not happy, but gives me runway. 3 months, numbers need to improve. Double down instead of backing off. That's what leaders do. Expand the policy, make it more comprehensive. New rule. In client presentations, women must present at least 60% of the content. Even if the male rep owns the relationship, woman must be primary presenter. Sales team is furious. Top performers are threatening to quit. Brad comes to my office. I'm leaving. I can't work like this. I've been selling for 15 years. I know how to close deals. You're making me a spectator in my own accounts. Try to convince him to stay. You're just resistant to sharing power. I'm resistant to losing deals because of your politics. He quits, takes his $8 million book of business to a competitor. 2 other top male reps follow him within a week. That's $20 million in annual bookings walking out the door. Mark is panicking. We just lost 3 of our top 5 reps. They were part of the old culture. We'll replace them with better talent. Better talent doesn't exist. These guys are the best in the industry. Better culture fit talent. That's what matters. Post the job openings. Prioritize women candidates. Get applications, but nobody with their experience level. Hire 3 women. All have 2 to 3 years of enterprise sales experience. They're enthusiastic, their culture fits, they believe in the mission. But they don't have the relationships, don't have the expertise. Month 4, numbers are catastrophic. Revenue is down 35% compared to same quarter last year. Pipeline is down 45%. Deals are stalling or being lost. Client retention is dropping. Some of Brad's old accounts are churning. They specifically requested him, found out he left, decided to leave too. Mark presents to Robert. We're in free fall. We need to reverse this policy. Robert looks at me. What's your explanation for these numbers? We're in transition. We lost some dinosaurs who couldn't adapt. We lost our top performers, and revenue is collapsing. Short-term pain for long-term gain. This is transformation. Robert is not convinced. How much more short-term pain? Another quarter, maybe 2, then we'll see the benefits. He's shaking his head. The board is asking questions. Month 5, emergency board meeting. I'm asked to present. Walk in confident, have slides prepared, ready to defend my strategy. 7 board members, mix of men and women, all looking serious. Present the equitable voice framework implementation. Show culture metrics, employee satisfaction surveys from women. Women's satisfaction is up 40%. They feel more included, more valued. Board member asks, what about the men's satisfaction? Don't have that data ready. We're focused on the underrepresented group. What about the revenue numbers? Another board member asks. Here's where it gets tricky. Revenue is down 48% year over year. We're experiencing temporary disruption due to personnel changes. 3 top performers left. We're rebuilding with better culture fits. CFO jumps in with more data I wasn't prepared for. We're on track to miss our annual target by $30 million. Stock price has dropped from $22 to $14 per share in 5 months. We've lost 15 major accounts. Client satisfaction is at all-time low. Board member who's a woman, Sarah, asks the hard question. Is it possible this policy is too disruptive to sales process? Feel defensive immediately. Sales process was built on exclusion. We're dismantling that. It's supposed to be disruptive. Another board member, older man, Mark's age, speaks up. I've been in enterprise sales for 30 years. Clients buy from people they trust. Relationships take years to build. You can't just swap out experienced reps with junior people. Gender doesn't matter. Experience and relationships matter. Push back. That's exactly the kind of thinking that perpetuates inequality. Robert interrupts. Rare for him to speak up in board meetings. I think we need to revisit this policy. The data is clear. It's affecting our business fundamentally. Feel betrayed. He's supposed to support me. Robert, you approved this initiative. You said to modernize. I said modernize. not destroy our sales function. Board takes a vote, 6-1 to suspend the policy immediately. Only Sarah votes to continue. She's outvoted. I'm told to reverse the policy, return to normal meeting structure. Refuse. I won't be complicit in returning to discriminatory practices. Board member speaks. Then you're refusing a direct order from the board. I'm refusing to participate in systemic oppression. Robert looks tired, defeated. Then we need to discuss your role. Get put on administrative leave pending review. 2 weeks later, officially terminated as COO. Severance package is minimal. Terminated for cause due to insubordination. Company announces my departure. Stock price jumps 8% on the news. Investors are relieved. Sales team is relieved. Everyone's relieved. Mark immediately reverses all my policies back to normal operations. Starts recruiting, tries to win back the reps who left. Brad comes back, so does one other. They bring their clients with them. Within 3 months, company is recovering, revenue stabilizing. Within 6 months, revenue is back to growth trajectory. Stock price recovers to $20, still not back to $22, but improving. I'm unemployed, watching from the outside, seeing them succeed without me. Apply for COO roles at other companies. Market is cold. Every interview eventually gets to, why did you leave TechBridge? Try to spin it, philosophical differences with the board about culture. But recruiters find the articles, the stock price drop, the revenue collapse. It says here revenue dropped 60% during your tenure as COO. That was due to necessary cultural transformation, and you were terminated for refusing to reverse the policies. I was standing up for principles. Don't get second interviews, word spreads in industry. She tanked revenue by 60% with meeting policies. She prioritized politics over performance. She's a culture warrior, not an operator. 6 months of unemployment, savings depleting fast. Boston rent is $4,500 per month. Lifestyle is expensive. Have to sell the luxury condo, move to smaller apartment. Take a VP of operations role at a startup, $160,000, half my previous comp. Company has 50 employees. It's a step down in every way. But it's a job. It pays bills. It's better than nothing. New CEO is woman. I think this will be better culture fit. First week, she pulls me aside. I Googled you. Saw what happened at TechBridge, the revenue situation. Feel defensive. I was implementing progressive policies. That destroyed the business. I need to know you won't do that here. Our job is to grow the company, not make political statements. She's a woman. She's supposed to understand, supposed to support this. I'm committed to whatever you need. I lie. 3 months in, I see problems, same old patterns. Sales team is 70% male. Engineering is 80% male. Start suggesting policies. We should implement voice equity in meetings. CEO shuts it down immediately. We're not doing that. But it would help with inclusion. I saw what it did to TechBridge. We're not experimenting with revenue. Feel frustrated, trapped, can't implement any real change. Realize this is my career now. Neutered operator with no authority. 1 year after being fired, see TechBridge earnings report. Revenue hit $95 million, up from $80 million before my tenure. Stock price at $26, above where it was when I started. Robert gives interview to business publication. We learned that operational excellence and culture can coexist. But operations must come first. Culture follows success, not the other way around. He's talking about me, about my failure without naming me. We had a leader who prioritized politics over performance. It nearly destroyed the company. We corrected course just in time. Comments on the article are brutal. People figured out it's about me. This is what happens when ideology meets reality. She tanked a publicly traded company with meeting rules. 60% revenue drop because men had to wait their turn to speak. Someone posts my LinkedIn profile. I get hundreds of messages. Half are supportive from activists. You stood up for what's right. Other half are mocking. How's the job search going? Block notifications. Can't handle it. 2 years later, still at the startup, still making $160,000. We're growing slowly, haven't had major breakthrough. My role is mainly operational maintenance, keeping things running. No strategic authority, no major initiatives, just executing. See that Mark retired from TechBridge. They threw him a huge party. 20 years with the company, led sales through massive growth. Company revenue is now $110 million. He built that, not me. Brad is VP of Sales now, promoted after Mark left. The guy I criticized, the guy who quit because of my policies. He's now a C-level executive at a thriving company. Jessica, the woman who complained about not being included. She's also thriving, promoted to senior account executive. Makes $300,000 plus with commission, top 5 performer. She posted on LinkedIn, grateful for leadership that judges performance, not gender. Subtle but clear, she's talking about the post-me era. Even the women benefited from removing my policies. Turns out they wanted to succeed on merit, not special treatment. 3 years later, startup gets acquired, modest exit. My equity is worth maybe $80,000 after taxes. Used to have equity at TechBridge worth potential millions. Now I'm 47, with $80,000 windfall and uncertain prospects. Apply for more roles. Market is tough. Ageism is real. Being a woman over 45 with a controversial track record is worse. Former COO who tanked revenue by 60% is not a great resume line. End up taking director of operations role, another step down. $140,000. No equity at a traditional manufacturing company. It's boring, it's old school, it's the opposite of tech. But they don't care about my history, just want someone to run operations. Boss is a man in his 60s. Reminds me of Robert. I don't care about your politics. Just make the operations efficient. That's my job now, making schedules and optimizing shipping routes. No strategy, no vision, no culture transformation. Just spreadsheets and logistics and keeping things running. It's honest work, but it's humbling after being COO of a public company. 4 years after being fired, TechBridge hit $150 million revenue. Stock price is at $35. Market cap over $1 billion. They're being acquired by a major player for $1. $2 billion. Robert does interview, talks about the journey, the close call. We almost lost it all when we prioritized ideology over operations. But we learned, we corrected, we focused on what matters. He's careful not to name me, but everyone knows. Calculate what my equity would have been worth. If I'd stayed, if I'd succeeded, if I'd been part of the exit. My options would have been worth $4 million. Instead, I'm making $140,000 and optimizing truck routes. 5 years later, sitting in my small apartment outside Boston, still at the manufacturing company, still making $140,000. No major career prospects, no viral success story. Just a cautionary tale about what happens when you prioritize politics over performance. Think about that board meeting, refusing to reverse the policy. I won't be complicit in systemic oppression. Felt so righteous in the moment, so certain I was right. Standing up for principles while revenue collapsed. While stock price tanked, while clients left. While employees lost their jobs due to layoffs my policies cost. What did my principles accomplish? What did my stand achieve? Got me fired, cost me millions, ended my career as an executive. Meanwhile, the company thrived without me. Revenue doubled. Women still succeed there. Jessica makes $300,000. They just don't have special rules, don't have forced equity. Just performance-based meritocracy. Turns out that works. The male reps I fought against, Brad and others, they weren't oppressing women, they were just doing their jobs. Closing deals, bringing in revenue, keeping company alive. I made them the enemy, made their voices the problem. When really the problem was me, my policies, my ideology. Forcing women to speak first didn't empower them. It just made meetings awkward and clients uncomfortable. Making men wait their turn didn't create equity. It just destroyed the sales process and tanked revenue. I thought I was fighting oppression. Really just oppressing the business, oppressing performance. All those hours I spent tracking speaking time could have spent on actual operational improvements. All that energy on voice equity could have gone to training, coaching, real development. But I was so sure, so certain, so righteous, that I couldn't see I was destroying what I was meant to build. Now, I'm 48, making $140,000 optimizing truck routes. Former COO of a company now worth over $1 billion. Could have been part of that success, could have been rich. Instead, I'm the woman who tanked revenue by 60% because she thought men talking too much was the real problem. That's my legacy. That's what I'm known for. Not as an operator, not as a leader, not as a builder, but as the COO who prioritized meeting rules over revenue, who chose politics over performance, who stood on principle while the company burned, and learned too late that principles don't pay the bills, that ideology doesn't close deals, that you can't force equity through policy. You have to earn success through performance, regardless of gender, regardless of politics. Just performance, just results, just reality. That's what matters in business. That's what I forgot. That's what cost me everything. And now I'm here, 48, alone, working for someone else. Watching the company I almost destroyed thrive without me, succeed without my policies, and knowing that they're right. And I was wrong about everything.